Tommy Dreamer details how WWE handles injuries differently. In light of Liv Morgan, WWE Getty Images. Dear loves, welcome to WWE Family Show. Please do subscribe my YouTube channel. Injuries are just part of the territory when you're a professional wrestler. And like any sport, some of those injuries might be minor or superficial, allowing a short recovery time. Or it might become a long, sometimes permanent injury that adds a wrinkle to one's career. For WWE Women's Tag Team Champion Liv Morgan, her separated shoulder injury will put her on the shelf for quite some time, but with impending surgery followed by rehab, it won't be long before Morgan returns to her pinnacle position. Tommy Dreamer, who has had his fair share of career-damaging injuries, is thankful WWE and other promotions have changed their protocol on how they deal with injured stars right away, versus dismissing the severity of what might become endangering to both their short-time and long-term health should they keep working through their injuries. Dreamer shared his thoughts on the matter, comparing his generation to today's on a recent episode of Busted Open After Dark. My generation is much different than this generation, Dreamer first mentioned. We had to go to work. We were not told no, and it's for the betterment of the performer, which WWE right on the spot, they have again continued to do right away. They stop the match. We offer nothing but support. It's going to be a long, painful recovery. That's why she can't rush coming back. According to PW Insider reporter Mike Johnson, Morgan's shoulder injury will keep her off WWE programming for a lengthy amount of time. In the past, Morgan has had several shoulder injuries, including one in 2023 that kept her away from the squared circle for 6 months before she returned at the 2024 Women's Royal Rumble match. When she came back, she initiated her revenge tour, which saw her replace Rhea Ripley in the Judgment Day, become Dominic Mysterio's newest squeeze, recapture the WWE Women's World, inaugural Women's Crown Jewel, and become a record-setting 4-time Women's Tag Team Champion, all within 1 year. If you use any of the quotes in this article, please credit Busted Open Radio with a HT to Wrestling Inc. for the transcription. Liv Morgan is known to be one of the most brutal stars in WWE when it comes to promo battles. However, her words in a recent segment could anger John Cena, or so veteran journalist Bill Apter believes. Liv had a face-to-face with Nikki Bella on the June 9th episode of WWE Raw, where the latter returned to the company in a more active capacity. This immediately put her at odds with Liv, who believes she is currently the face of the women's division. The two exchanged harsh words, with Morgan even stating that she had a man while Nikki did not, seemingly referencing her divorce last year. It's worth mentioning that John Cena and Nikki Bella were a couple for over half a decade, and even became engaged before canceling their wedding in 2018. Alluding to Nikki's personal life may not have been a smart move, according to Bill Apter, as Cena was also in the arena that same night. Speaking on the Wrestling Time Machine, hosted by Mac Davis, the veteran stated, "Did you get that line that Liv Morgan threw? You know, Nikki was with John Cena forever, for years and years, and of course they broke up Nikki's through marriage and divorced. Liv Morgan said, and also, I have a man, and you don't. And John Cena was in the arena the same night. Man, I wonder how that went over backstage. According to Bill Apter, Nikki Bella will soon have Brie Bella by her side, considering how things are going." During the same episode of the Wrestling Time Machine, the veteran journalist talked about the circumstances surrounding Nikki's WWE return and stated, "I think there is something going on where they are bringing her on from the reality world. I think there is going to be a tie-in somewhere with something else that she is doing, besides just coming back in to come back in. I think we will see her sister back there, Brie Bella as well, and it's also going to be the situation where it heated up the angle well. Liv Morgan saying, "It's me, I am the greatest girl in the whole world, you know, the whole thing they did." Shobajit is a pro wrestling journalist at Sportskita, reporting on WWE News. He has a master's degree in English and has been working in his current role for over 2 years. A fan of pro wrestling since childhood, Shobajit decided to start creating content on the sport out of passion. Before covering a piece of news or rumor, he conducts thorough research, ensuring information in his work is reliable and completely accurate. Although Shobajit admires numerous pro wrestlers, his current favorite is WWE superstar Drew McIntyre. He is fond of the Scottish Warrior's character work and innovative quips. If there is one storyline he can work on in WWE, Shobajit would book Roman Reigns' future with the Bloodline following WrestleMania XL, where he lost to Cody Rhodes. He would have Reigns' stablemates excommunicate him, laying the foundation for a gimmick change for the former. After Reigns' exit from the faction, Shobajit would portray him as an anti-hero trying hard to claw his way back up to the top. Liv Morgan is a key member of WWE's heel faction, the Judgment Day, and is the reigning one-half of the Women's Tag Team Champions. However, Morgan is facing uncertainty following a legitimate injury she sustained during this week's edition of Raw. The former Women's World Champion faced Kairi Sane in a singles match on this week's episode of The Red Brand. During the match, Morgan dislocated her shoulder, and recent reports indicate that surgery is required. This will certainly sideline the Judgment Day member for an extended period, as it would mean scrapping the creative plans slated for her character. Further, this would also cause a shift within the Judgment Day's dynamics, especially since her relationship with members of the faction is already on thin ice prior to the injury. To that end, here are some of the reasons why the former Women's World Champion may no longer be a member of the heel stable when she returns. Following her loss at the Queen of the Ring tournament, Raquel Rodriguez had a bit of a heated exchange with her fellow women's tag team champion, Liv Morgan. The latter's outburst before her injury suggests an underlying discord that could foreshadow her departure from the Judgment Day. When she returns. With Morgan out of action, Rodriguez could choose Roxanne Perez as her partner to defend the Women's Tag Team Championship with. Morgan's recovery timeline could serve as a catalyst for her exit from the faction, and she could potentially have a feud with Rodriguez when she returns before leaving the group. Roxanne Perez's growing presence alongside the Judgment Day suggests a potential shift in the faction's lineup. Perez is one of WWE's fastest-rising superstars and has been featured in several high-stakes matches and compelling segments, specifically with the aforementioned heel faction. It is now obvious that she will be part of the crew, replacing Liv Morgan in the process. As of the time of writing, Morgan's recovery timeline remains uncertain. However, it is believed that an injury requiring surgery is estimated to take around 6 months for her to be fully healed. The Judgment Day's continued prominence despite Morgan's absence, combined with Perez's rising role within the group, fuels speculation that the former Women's World Champion may be out of the group when she returns. Current Intercontinental Champion Dominic Mysterio has solidified his status as a key figure in both the Judgment Day and WWE. To that end, this may likely reduce his reliance on Liv Morgan within the faction. Now that Morgan will be stepping back from in-ring competition to recuperate, this could also mean that Mysterio's success alongside Roxanne Perez and the rest of the faction implies that the current IC champion could be ditching Morgan. Before her injury, WWE could already be hinting at Liv Morgan's return as a singles competitor in pursuit of another championship gold. Notably, her segment with IIYO Sky during the June 16th episode of Raw was a highlight, where she demanded a title shot from the current Women's World Champion. The interaction between them prior to the injury could be WWE's way of positioning Morgan for a solo run and potentially leaving the Judgment Day. Her ambition to capture another title will certainly overshadow her role within the faction. Irwin is a WWE writer at Sportskeeda. He previously worked as a customer care representative for Teletech, APAC, and Stellar Global Solutions, and as a writer and contributor at Blasting News, before his lifelong passion for pro wrestling led him to his current role at Sportskeeda in 2021. Irwin has many favorite wrestlers due to their personalities. He likes Stone Cold Steve Austin because of his edginess, Brock Lesnar for his intimidating aura, Orange Cassidy because he doesn't have a catchphrase, and Darby Allin due to his high-risk maneuvers. If he could go back to the Attitude Era, Irwin would wish to manage Stone Cold Steve Austin, and to convince the Hall of Famer he would say, "Now that you got rid of Jake the Snake Roberts, it sure did put the entire locker room on notice, including Boss Vince. You, my friend, just ushered in a new era in this company, and I'm here to give you a hand." Irwin ensures to thoroughly check information for accuracy before using it in his articles. Apart from watching pro wrestling, Cruz enjoys playing video games and cooking for his family.